Alrighty, so as I scroll through week 4 and scroll into week 5, I want to give you just another reminder that if you're getting behind, it is time to get caught up. And the reason is statistically, and I've looked at this, every week that goes by that a student gets behind, their chances of not completing this class increase. So the sooner you get caught up, the better your chances of doing well in this class and just passing if that's your goal, which I know that's not everyone's goal and I appreciate that, but some people that is, and that's okay too. So I just want to say, by the way, go get help. And I've put my office hours, which by the way, I did update here. And then we do have tutorials that are listed up at the top. You can check that out. And you just need to know that whatever it is that you're having a challenge with, the sooner you get help, the sooner we can get you into a passing mode and the sooner your chances of getting through this class. Okay, so last week it was great. And kind of confusing for some people about the Code Academy stuff. So there's two things I'm going to say about the Code Academy today. One is that this is the one that if for some reason you chose to do a trial of Pro, which I do not recommend. If you did, then this item on tables may be blocked to you. And so there's two ways you can get around this. One is you can just set up another account, and the other one is you can reach out to the support on Code Academy to actually tell them what happened. Now I'm not logged in now, but there is some support available. I looked around because I actually reached out to them and asked them about this problem, and they said the individual students could actually reach out and get support if that's something you want to attempt. My only thing about that is you need to make sure you actually do that soon, and here's their help option, because the sooner you get help, the more, and actually you'd probably want to look at, or maybe fixing a problem or one of these, okay, or just get help. So if you did the Pro trial account and it has now expired, for I think many of you, because I only had about 4 students run into this, they are not able to complete the tables this week. So those are your two options, just to be brief. Either set up a new account or contact Code Academy and they will remove this, because they realized that matter of fact, they got back to me and they said, I realized what happened. We were trying to encourage people to complete these items, and I'm like, yeah, you were trying to encourage them to buy, but that's okay. You know, I really appreciate the fact that Code Academy is free and that we get to use it. So I understand them wanting to make money. I have no problem with that. I just want you to know. Okay, okay, so the other thing is I had forgotten, I guess, last week until I think, well, this week actually, because I'm filming this Friday before end of week 4, is I had accidentally left the replies on there. So some of you were confused and I can't say I blame you. So I made sure this week those are gone. So those are not a requirement. But as I talked about last week, and I now want to clarify this, is that I've added some content on the late work to talk about Code Academy replies, because if you're and this is just, let me summarize what this says, but please read this if you need more clarification. If you're doing the Code Academy late and you want full points, then just do the replies and I'll grade it with no late points removed. If you're doing replies to use for other work, then you will need to set up that sheet, which by the way you should do anyway, and this video walks you all through how you need to do that. But if you're doing the replies to use for other items besides Code Academy, and even if you're using it for past Code Academies, you would still need to do this. It'd be only when you submit them late that you would fall into this category, and if you had done them at that point, I would just grade it for full points. But it's when you are trying to use these for other items or items that had been submitted prior and I had taken off points. So I know this can be a little bit, I guess I didn't summarize it any better. So sorry about that. Well, anyway, hopefully it asks, and actually this will be a good thing to do for this particular item or this particular reply, is actually ask any additional questions that you may have. about this Code Academy, either the Pro or the late points returned or any of that. Okay, so for our week 5 classwork, I've actually recorded an up-to-date video on this because there had been some changes in this. And I also have a second video, so make sure you're doing those headings correctly, okay? But what you need to do is take some notes and then do a print screen, and I show you how to put or place the print screen into your shared with Rio Google Doc for classwork. So just make sure, right, and you will have a few topics from this video. You'll do the help desk, and then you will also take notes on something that's coming up for us next week, which is our first lab test. Okay? All right, 2 things, and then I'm done. A couple of you, and I appreciate the questions that are coming in directly to me that are more related to grade questions, and then I appreciate people posting out on chat where it kind of makes sense, where everyone might benefit from those questions. But one question I got was a student had replied, I got this twice actually, where students were replying to me inside of their grade for a specific item, and I don't get flagged for that. And if I happen to see it in the grade listings, I'll go look at it and see it is like there's a sea of grades. You can think of, there's like a huge amount of grades, and I just happen to, if I just happen to see and there's a color coding, then I go in there and look at it. But if you have put a reply to something or updated or fixed something, right, the best time to do it is of course before the item is due. But if you're doing it after, make sure if you don't hear from me, you follow up with me with an email. Okay? All right. So the last thing I kind of wanted to, and I'm hoping by this point we can actually start talking about other things besides class, but I'm okay with that too because I want you to have that knowledge about, you know, whatever it is that we're hitting up against. So, but one thing, you know, I'd be kind of curious. I know I got to see many of the you know, the apps that many of you like to use in the week 4 classwork for the binary, which was fun. And there was some that were very like common, like Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. I know we're shocked by that. So in this post, if you'd like, if you don't have any questions about the other stuff, you might tell me also like what kind of technology beyond apps have you had any experience with lately, or something you're interested in? Like one thing, and this maybe I'm saying this more for self divulgence or self what I have is that I actually am using I actually have a heart rate monitor I just got, which I already had a heart rate monitor on my phone, but this is cool because I can actually take classes from people that are actually doing them live, and my heart rate is sent to them through my Chromecast, so I can actually compete with other people, and this is really fun. I find this kind of technology really exciting because it helps me work out, because I know it's actually fun to compete against other people, but from the wonderful convenience of my home. So I love this. And again, I'm not promoting this. I'm not promoting this at all. All I'm saying is that this kind of technology that is giving us the ability to interact in ways that we hadn't maybe thought about in the past is something I find really fun and exciting. So, you know, what do you find fun? Is there something that you've seen beyond the apps that you know, self-driving cars, that's cool, totally cool. How about voice, you know, where we have voice devices? Like I have several Google Homes in my house, and I interact with them more than I probably should admit, just because it's fun to be able to control things and be able to get information when I need it. So what are some of those things, you know, in your life? And so I've already opened up week 6 just to roll forward. Week 6 is actually kind of interesting because I've actually modified it and also recorded a new video for that, but that's also the week your first lab test is, so heads up on that, which is why I'm having you watch a little video about how this stuff works so you're prepared for lab test. And lab test is actually where you need Microsoft Word. And what's cool here is there's actually a video to help you through most of this, which is awesome. Okay. So, but this is where we take the training wheels off, and training wheels in this case is simulation, and we actually have you work in Microsoft Word. Because if you're not actually working in the app, right, we aren't translating what you're learning in the simulations into actual hands-on knowledge. But that's what that is intended to do. Let's see, I will be releasing, believe it or not, week 7. So, you know, we are itching close to the middle of the semester, so it is always a good time to catch up as I started with today, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Talk to you soon. Bye.